All right, guys, this week we have my bestie, Sharna Burgess.
Hi, babe.
I so freaking love that you are here. Everybody has been asking you to come on.
They want that BURGATROYD, you know? They want that BURGATROYD, babe. We got to give the people what they want.
Babe, I forgot about that word.
BURGATROYD.
BURGATROYD. Have you heard of BURGATROYD? This is like a big thing.
This was our thing. We had people turn up to tour with like phone cases with our matching photos and stuff on them.
Oh my God, you're jolting my memory right now.
Whole thing.
Oh my gosh.
To be fair, we've known each other for a long time. We're going a ways back, girl. We're going a ways back.
We're going a ways back. We're going back to like 2015.
Yeah.
Back.
I think that was.
Yeah. Well, she's going to be recapping with me today, and I'm so excited because she is also a judge in Australia. If you guys don't know, she is killing it. She is head judge over there, and she is amazing. And we all want Sharna's take on things because she knows her shit.
Thanks, Mama. I do. I enjoy it. I've been doing it for 6 years, so I've learned a lot by also being on that side of the table. And I don't know if it would necessarily make me a different pro, but I definitely learned how hard the job is to be a judge. You're sitting there, you've got X amount of time to speak. You're watching that dance. You want to get out the most helpful advice possible, but you also need to be entertaining and dynamic. You don't want to repeat the same thing that someone else said. There's so many things to take into account. And I before we get into all of it, I think the judges here do a really great job.
Yeah, they do.
You know, and with the rising popularity of the show, naturally, that also comes with way more criticism that people are getting. And I see the judges get a lot of negative feedback online. It's really hard because there are so many things that you have to stick to and rules that you have to play by, and you have time constraints and all sorts of things on live television.
So how do you do it in your head though? When you're like watching it live and you've got 10 billion things coming into your head, are you just thinking of the best points to give people, like the most helpful points at that time, or you're thinking of the entertainment, or what is like your major thing?
I think you really have to, and what I've learned over the years of doing it is you have to sort of look at everything all at once. Obviously, if mistakes happen, they stick out to you and you can write them down and notice them. But you know, if you're going into a cha-cha, you know what technique you're looking for, you know what flavor and character you're looking for, and you know choreographically what needs to be in there content-wise and what doesn't. So once you figure out your boxes that you have to tick, you can sort of watch for all of them all at once and know whether you're ticking those boxes. Are the straight legs happening? No, they're not. Are there heel leads? Oh, yes, there is. Right. Is there any opposition in the body? No, there's not. Is anything sharp or is it messy? You know, you can answer those questions pretty quickly and then go from there. And then as you're watching it, you can get an overall vibe of, are they comfortable? Are they performing? Is there an insecurity there, like trying to find something on a human level that's going on, not just a dance level?
I do feel like there's not enough time.
Yeah.
I'm struggling to like, you know, Derek's always just like, oh, I'm out of time. And it's like, but we didn't get anything.
Yeah.
We just got it. That's amazing. And whatever, like 1 point to work on. I wish that they had like 2 minutes to talk.
I know.
Not like 45 seconds or not even.
Or less, no. And by the time the show goes on, again, live television, you never know what's happening in other places and what's taking the time, but their time does get shorter and shorter.
Right.
And sometimes they are genuinely like, I loved it. And that's it. That's all they can do. That means on their clock where it's counting down, it's literally going 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, you're out of time.
Right. Or somebody else has taken the time from them.
Yeah.
And gone over time.
Exactly.
Right.
But I think it happens, you know, you never know how much a celebrity is going to talk to Julianne or what they're going to say. And if that moment's really great, she's probably got a producer saying, write it out, go into that. So it's no one person's fault, and it's not that they don't want to give judges time. It's just that it's live television and shit happens.
Yeah.
And you got to give space
they do
for
their
moments.
best.
But oddly, I feel like we used to have more time for judges.
We did. We totally did. But I think time is taken from elsewhere now. I think it's also getting up the stairs and
all those
Alfonso,
things.
all the little nuances in between that, take up seconds, which add into minutes.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, this week I wasn't at the show. I was in New York.
Yes, you
First
were.
time.
We just missed each other.
We did. By the way, Sharna was doing an off-Broadway show, first time, right?
First time.
Pure acting. There was no dance. There was no singing. There was no backups. All her own with, who was it with?
Paige Davis, and it was just her and I on stage. So just the two of us, and it was incredible, and I was so incredibly nervous. It was just so much dialogue to learn and so many life moments and emotions to give in one performance, and it was wild and exciting, and I loved it. And I love this storytelling. I mean, me as a choreographer on the show, I was always the storyteller anyway. There were more, but I was a storyteller.
You were very good at that.
Thank you. Yeah. I felt like it was always my thing.
Yeah.
And so I feel like this is a really fun transition for me getting into this world.
New adventure, new beginnings.
But anyway, I digress, making it all about me. We passed each other in New York, and we almost got to hang out, but now we're here.
I love that we're hanging out here. So
you realize this is going to get derailed. It's you and I. This is going to be a 2-hour podcast.
We're going to catch up with life and things and babies and husbands and stuff. Okay, so I wasn't at the show. I watched it literally when my plane was getting canceled in New York. I was meant to be here yesterday. I was making notes in the airport, and it was different because I didn't have that backstage feel this time. I didn't see it live, and seeing it live, you notice a lot more things because the cameras, can hide a lot. The camera movement around people can make it look like they're doing way more than they do. All of those things.
We know all those tricks.
Yeah. So in all, for TikTok night, I loved it. Mm-hmm. I thought this is obviously the night to be doing the side-by-side choreography, to be doing those TikTok moves that everybody sort of had to implement into their dance. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. Yeah. What did you think?
I loved it. I've actually seen a lot of negative feedback on the theme. I've seen both positive and negative. I think what was hard for me is some of the songs did not lend themselves to the dance styles.
Correct.
Yeah. And I think that handicapped the dancers and the pros to a degree, but I think they did an amazing job at making it work. And at the end of the day, that's also the gig too. Sometimes your Disney song doesn't work really tempo-wise to the dance you have to do or whatever, unless it's a traditional Latin theme night. We're always up against having a song that may not be traditional for the style. Mm-hmm. But that is to say there was a couple where I was like, oh, that was really rough as far as the dance style. But I thought it made the evening fun, and seeing some of those dance styles, the dance choreography from TikTok come up and everyone doing them, I thought was really cool. Seeing Charlie out there giving
Charlie and Mark.
Spectacular.
Amazing.
When she was rumored to be on, I thought she was going to be a judge. I didn't realize they were going to have her. I thought she was going to do guest judging, which I was excited for.
Wow.
Which could have been
fun.
No,
it was nice to see her dance for sure.
She's so talented.
So previously, a couple of weeks ago, Max mentioned that he thinks that the competition really starts week 3 because you don't necessarily know your song, your style really at that point. Like week 1 and week 2, you know your song, you know your style, and you can prep kind of ahead. Mm-hmm. This is kind of where week 3 is kind of where things can separate, people can move ahead, people can stay as they are, and it kind of separates the people who are going to really shoot to the top and the ones that, are going to be kind of left behind. I agree with this statement because I feel like this night really did that for people. Yeah. And it really showed the people that can thrive under pressure with getting the song and the dance literally on Wednesday, and not knowing what they're doing instead of having a prep beforehand.
Right,
Did you feel that same way?
I do, actually. So I think the week 3 thing is totally valid. You get to that point and you've done all your prep. You have all those weeks before the season starts. You probably get your week 2 dance done. You don't get your week 3 dance done.
No.
Maybe if you have someone that's super talented, you've tested out some basics on them, but you don't have your dance done. And it really is a test to see, can you get it in time? Yeah. Can you learn the technique? Can you delete file of everything you just learned and switch into something new? Does it overwhelm you? Like, it's wild. And I think it does kind of thin out the pack a little bit as far as being able to see who's got it and who doesn't. We had a shocking elimination, at least for me, which I did not see coming. But to be fair, her dance wasn't great. And so maybe she was one of them, where that 1 week to learn a new style, because it was her first Latin dance, right?
It was her first Latin, but she has experience.
But I thought it was a decent night. I don't know that we necessarily saw anyone drop in their ability, right? It was Dylan wasn't as strong as I've seen him in some others.
Yeah, it wasn't my favorite
No,
of his
not
dances.
from them. Whitney's was my favorite that I have seen of her do. But I think it's fair to say that week 3 is when it starts to get really stressful for everyone.
Yeah.
And
people start to hurt.
People start to get hurt. People start to
Injuries.
get overwhelmed with the fact that it's all in a week. I think one of the contestants actually said it. I think it was Elaine, Alan's partner, was like, learning the tango in literally a week is so hard.
So hard.
That's where we're at now. They are quite literally learning their dance in a week. Not less than. You've got, if you really break it down, Wednesday you get your dance and your song. You're starting to learn your choreography. You're blocking that thing on Sunday and Monday.
But they're asking for the wide on Friday.
Exactly.
And if you don't know what the wide is when you put the camera back wide, have it still in a fixed position, and it's for the director of the show to do all the camera angles, and you just perform your dance in the studio and you give a little spiel at the beginning. They don't like it too long.
Which I used to get in trouble for.
You got in trouble for that?
I really like to have a cinematic vibe, and I want a steady cam here, and I really wanted to go a long moving shot here. I would speak for 3.5 minutes, and Phil was not very pleased with me when I would do that.
They didn't necessarily love too much input from the pros of like how we wanted it filmed. Some people would, I know others, not you, that would go completely overboard with that. Me, on the other hand, because she
was like, do your best.
I was like, do what you can.
They
love
Pete.
you, Phil.
They love Pete. Yeah. Zero maintenance. Me, a bit more maintenance.
So that's the wide. They get the whole picture, and that is due in pretty much Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It's due on Friday, and if you don't get it done with your celebrity, you bring in a pro to do it with you. Mm-hmm. So I would constantly have either Sasha or Brandon do it with me all the time, because we just weren't ready. The celebrities don't know and can't do it to music from top to tail. So
I think that's the pressure to learn a dance in 2 days.
Yes. Insane.
Crazy.
Who does that?
Who does that? Apparently people can do that.
Apparently. Should we get stuck into it?
Let's get stuck into it.
I'm so excited.
Do you remember how no one understood what that meant?
Yes.
Stuck into it.
Yeah, it means let's get into it.
Let's get into it.
But it's Aussie lingo.
Yeah. Now you know.
We love it. Mm-hmm. Okay, so first up was Jan and Jen with the cha-cha, and they got a 766. Mm-hmm. I want to know your immediate thoughts, because I have thoughts.
I have thoughts.
Overall, I think she's so fucking cute.
Yeah.
Her face lights up when she's on that dance floor. She's so cute and bubbly and fun.
I love watching her.
I love it.
Yeah.
I thought the intro when she was, dressed to be a pregnant woman in the hospital and stuff like that, I thought that was really fun. I don't think that that's ever been done on the show before. Thought that was really original. Loved it. When we got into the cha-cha, I wasn't impressed. Mm-hmm. I wish that she had been taught more technique. Everything was bent. For me, she was left alone too much while he did his thing. Mm-hmm. She's not the girl to be left alone. Mm-mm. She needs a connection. She needs something to be doing. She needs to be doing something while he's doing that. But all in all, you don't really leave them alone unless they are seasoned professionals.
Yeah. I mean, even Whitney's cha-cha, she wasn't really left alone, and she was...
Yeah, she was basically, unless it was like a side-by-side.
Right. I agree. So for me, it was completely lacking in cha-cha technique. And there was cha-cha steps in there, but they weren't executed with a cha-cha technique. And I don't just mean straight legs and, sliding in on a flat foot. Mm-hmm. There was zero movement from the back foot. There was zero hip action. She was quite literally picking up her feet and stepping on them. So it was
I wrote down too much walking.
So it was like walking through cha-cha choreography, which makes it too back-weighted, which makes it slow, which means there's no connection, and it just lost what cha-cha is supposed to be. Mm-hmm. And so unfortunately it was a really rough dance for her. Even though can she perform? She can 100% perform.
Her face is so gorgeous.
Great. And even her presence and her performance quality, great. But my main thing is that there was just no cha-cha technique in there.
Foot placement was really sloppy.
Super sloppy, lots of heel leads and picking it up, which meant there was also no leg action, which then means there's no hip action, which then means the body is just stiff in one way. Yeah. Like those first walks that she did at the very beginning were like robotic.
I know.
You know what I
Where
mean? And the
was
body was just flat.
Yes. The New Yorker section. What do you teach the first time? You teach knees together with a New Yorker,
Yes.
out and
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
The knees were so far apart. That's
Yeah.
like, a very basic thing that you would
Yeah.
be taught.
So I know we're like laying it on thick on the fact that there was no cha-cha technique, but that's to say like there wasn't. But
Because she could do it.
she could do it. And the conundrum is it was still a great performance. So for anyone watching that doesn't maybe understand cha-cha technique, they might be like, but I don't understand.
Right.
Because she did perform it. But to judge it as a cha-cha, you just can't.
It was more like a showpiece.
A showpiece, totally.
Right,
Yeah.
with a sprinkle of cha-cha-cha in
It
between.
was cha-cha-cha choreography, but no technique.
But I also wrote down, like, again, leaving her alone, like when he did that kip up, for me, he's so able. He looks amazing. Like,
Yeah.
he's great. Was a kip up needed while she stood there and watched him do that? For me, unnecessary.
Yeah.
She should have been doing swivels into her locks, like getting really into the cha-cha.
Yeah.
So for me, there was a lot of moments lost.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. And I really agree with you on her being left alone too much.
Yeah.
That wasn't something I even necessarily thought of until you just said it. Like, you're right. She was just left alone too much. Some girls you can, some girls you can't.
Yeah.
And especially cha-cha, it's a hard dance. I know it's one we do early on, but it is a hard dance because the technique is weird. And you'll notice that some of the more seasoned pros that have been there for a long time have figured out, hold on to you, girl.
Right.
Hold
on.
At
least
help
one
her,
arm.
At least one arm. Help her move around so she can understand where to move from, especially this early in the competition.
Right.
But it's his first season, and I
He
think
will
he's
learn.
learning.
Yeah.
And you have to give people a chance to learn. Like, we're being kind of tough on them, but you got to give people a chance to learn.
Right.
And
more seasons ahead, he will
exactly.
get it and understand
Yeah.
more, I guess. Number 2 was Brandon and Lauren.
Yeah.
I spoke to Brandon after week 2 because she was nailing
Yeah.
the ballroom standard dances, and I loved her effortlessness. It's always like, I write that down first. It looks like it's too easy for her. Do you know what I mean? She's so good and so sure of herself when she dances. It's like, oh, this girl could actually maybe be doing more. But when I spoke to Brandon, he's like, oh, I'm interested to see what the open Latin is going to look like on her, because she is so like flowy and easy that with the spicy cha-cha, you need the attack, you need all of those things as well. For me, that's the biggest thing that was lacking. I know the judges said that too. It was like, where was the attack? I needed you to hit those fucking lines, girl. I needed you to like really like splay those fingers, get in there and like be on that step and have a different energy to the ballroom dancers.
Agreed.
But it was the same energy.
It was the same energy. Everything was just a little too chill and one level.
Yeah.
It lacked dynamics. She also was very square in her hips. There was no hip action for her. She was a little bit off balance in the beginning. She missed a lock step, so then she had a whole mess up. And you could see the judges in the background clock it.
Yep.
It just didn't end up being a great dance for her. And because it was so chill, which was beautiful in a foxtrot, it lacked any amount of dynamics or excitement.
Light and shade.
No light and shade, nothing in this cha-cha. And I also feel like a little bit of an opportunity missed. She was so sexy but stoic coming down on that lift, and it was just all very still.
Stoic is a good word.
Yeah.
She does have that about her, which is awesome.
Powerful,
yeah.
but it needs to be then balanced with something else. You can't just all be that.
Right. And I feel like with that, the connection with the audience through the camera lens is then kind of like drawn back and lost a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. I've seen people saying that they didn't connect to her,
Interesting.
which I find really interesting. I thought she was lovely. I never found anything that I couldn't connect with necessarily, but maybe there just wasn't enough openness in her presence. It was all very,
Right.
I don't want to call it standoffish, but like,
No, she's so sweet.
What is it? She's so sweet. Even in her package, you could tell she was sweet. But for whatever reason, there's something that people just weren't relating to. And I don't know why that is.
Do you think she was getting votes, or do you think people really weren't voting?
So I wonder if her fan base is also very international. right? And
Could be.
so her 8 million followers or whatever she has, I don't think it's all our East Coast voters.
Right.
And our blind voting West Coast. I think there was a season where West Coast could still view it live on Disney, but now you can't, from what I've learned. Now West Coast still has to wait because they ultimately want you to tune into ABC to watch it, right?
Right, but like majority of the country can't vote. It's
Or have
like,
to vote blind.
that means that you're just voting for your favorite celebrity no matter how they dance.
Exactly.
So,
And or who you think may need the votes based off of last week or whatever it is. So it does make it really hard, I think, for it to truly translate who's doing well or who's getting votes. It's hard. But anyway, I think her fan base was maybe not centered in the East Coast of America and
Right.
was worldwide, and so she wasn't getting all the votes
Right.
that she could have, and she does have a massive fan base, and I think she's awesome, and I think she had a lot of talent, but unfortunately it was one of those things that you can never ever guess is going to happen, and it was shocking.
Yep.
But that mixed with the fact that she didn't have a great dance and other people being way more memorable and her being early on in the show was just a recipe for her going home.
yeah, the Sixers didn't help.
The Sixers didn't help. Well, the same score as Andy didn't help.
She got the exact same as Andy?
They both got 18. Well,
That's not fair.
no.
All right, moving on to Danielle and Pasha. Foxtrot 777. I thought that was a good, decent score for them. I thought that was correct. What did you think?
A 6-7, and I couldn't decide. I ended up on a 6, but I think she definitely could have been a 7.
Right. I say sevens because I didn't see her screw up any moves.
Nope.
It was clean. It was nice. She always delivers the dance from beginning to end. I love, Pasha is like, the ultimate technician along with Daniela, and I think that they train them very well. And
Very
they
well.
start with the basics. You can see them in their rehearsal footage where they are literally doing basic foxtrot probably for the first day.
Yeah.
To get them in tune with like what the dance is, the style, the flow of it all. So is she the best dancer? No, but I love her performance skills. I loved the rise and fall. I thought she was super graceful and she had a lot of light and shade in there.
Yeah, I agree I think she's really graceful. What I love about Danielle is it's like there's this grown womanness about her. Like when she's out on the floor, there's just something really, and I don't mean that she's mature. I just mean it's like a confidence and there's something, an air about her that I love to watch. And I love the performance for all those reasons. Even Derek said thank you on the fundamentals or the the control throughout them. And I totally agree. She did have a couple of little balance things near closer towards the end. Her frame was better this week for me. She was much more out and in her pocket. She still comes in a little bit, but I think she's working in the right direction. They had great power along the floor when they were moving. It was smooth. I really liked it. What I find for Danielle is that you used the word, it's nice.
It was nice and placed, yes.
And so I don't know if that's something that she needs to bring in the performance or if it's something that Pasha needs to bring in the choreography.
Interesting.
Because it's smooth and it's great, but what do you remember about it?
It's funny you say that because I don't remember any specific parts except for that big ronde that she did in that music beat. I forget what the music was, but I remember that, but I don't remember anything else. And that's because it was all placed and nice. And you're right. There was no wow moments. And usually you try to get one or two of those in every routine.
The thing that's hard is there's actually a lot of wow moments in the fact that she can execute the technique so beautifully.
Yes.
That no one gives a shit if there's not flashy something wow that your brain can take a photo of and be like, that was so great.
Right.
That hits the music at the right point and it just creates a picture or a moment where you go, that was so cool.
Yeah.
No one gives a shit about a feather step. Ain't nobody know the footwork.
People don't know what they're watching.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so but do we need it in there? Absolutely. And do people subconsciously realize that, that looked really good? Sure.
Yeah.
It's like I have the same thing with Ilaria. We'll get back to that. But there needs to be something else choreographically that makes you go, wow, mixed with the great technique.
1000%.
Danny does that in spades, right?
Yep.
She always has something that is a wow, that is a moment to remember, that whatever, she figures it out.
Right.
I think we need to get a little bit more of that for Danielle.
And then just one thing, I was like, everything is there. When if she could just like use the whole body to extend.
Yes.
In those moments where Pasha's like holding here and she's going out, like it's so
Placed.
to the 90%. Do you know what I mean? We want like the extra.
Yeah, I want it to go to 105.
Yeah.
And I want it to have some sort of musicality to it.
Right.
So not just all one level. Even if it's a dreamy dance, you still need an impulse of something. It still needs to have some texture and dynamics in it, which she's missing a little bit of. The one bit of dynamics that is what you remember, the ronde.
Yeah.
On
that
the
was
beat.
that and I was like, oh,
So
good ronde.
A little bit more of that.
Yeah. Next up was Jordan and Ezra with their tango. I didn't write down this. Oh, no, I did. 888. It's funny. The first time I watched it, the first note I wrote was, I would like to see more tango.
Okay.
And then the second time I watched it, I scrubbed it out.
Yep.
Because I felt like maybe I was being too critical, too harsh on that. But I think the height difference with their frame is hard to watch sometimes, but they did do a very good job at holding it together. I do feel like the frame was moving a little too much in areas where I would have liked, tango frame, if we're going to say frame. That shit doesn't move. Like you are locked in and you are locked in for the whole fucking dance.
Yeah.
Usually you're not meant to break hold in tango either, really, for anything.
People be breaking hold all over the place this season. So I don't know what the rules are.
I thought it was great. It had a lot of light and shade in it. I did like her attack. I liked his attack. I want to hear what you think.
So I actually loved this routine.
Okay.
I liked the content in it. I loved the musicality in it. I think Ezra's frame looked a little whack, but I think that's because he was sacrificing for her and her frame looked great. Normally I do not love the straight right arm, but I give it grace because she's teeny tiny and like she's just reaching for the gods to just try and hold on to his hand.
Of course.
So that I was like, I'm cool with it. I loved the musicality and I found there were a lot of moments in there where maybe because the shape went a little bigger, there was like a brrrah where she like went all the way back and then came up and then they went back into frame. I wasn't mad at that. They still stayed in frame.
Yes.
It distorted for a second and then they went straight back into it. So I found that was a choice. She did a heel turn. She was stepping onto her heels and her pivots. Like they paid attention to detail on the technique and the footwork of the tango. I found they had great attack and staccato action for days. So I actually loved this one.
Did you think it was better than their jive the last week? I thought the jive was fucking sensational.
Spectacular.
Last week.
Spectacular, but they don't have the handicap of the frame and the height difference.
Right.
So with that being said, yes, I do. But is it her style? No, because height difference.
Right.
But I feel like the overcoming of that difference in height for them was really well done for me.
Yeah.
And so I actually loved it just as much. But 100% the Latin styles are going to be more
better for them.
Better for them because of the height difference.
Right.
But I actually liked the way that they handled this.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
I really enjoyed it.
I really loved what she said in her package and how she was describing the song Anxiety and what it meant for her and like athletes and anxiety and how she dealt with that and that, she does deal with that on a daily basis, I think she said.
Anxiety, yeah.
Yeah. And, although you can be top of your game in the world, like a complete American #1 champion athlete, you can still get anxiety from time to time. And it really resonated with me. I don't know. I think that point was probably going to hit home for a lot of people.
Yeah, I think so too. I think finding that relatability with her, like, even she gets it, you know, is really special for her to share and to be vulnerable like that. I think as a competitor, we try to not show our weaknesses sometimes.
Yeah.
And maybe that beautiful example has been led by Simone Biles about, being open and honest about where you're at and how you're feeling, mental health being a very important focus. And I love that she set that example because maybe it's influenced Jordan and how incredible is that.
Yep.
But I loved her sharing it. And on that note, I wish that Ezra got his flowers a little bit in this one because he really did do a fantastic job. He got hit hard week 1 with the notes.
Yeah,
on the
week
content.
1 wasn't great, and then
so
he stepped
he's
it
come
up.
back and crushed it since then. And I feel like he did a phenomenal job on this routine. I loved his choreography, his musicality. And when Derek said, he was like, Jordan, you turned anxiety into artistry. I was like, yes, but also so did Ezra, because he gave her that opportunity to do that. So I wish it was directed towards both of them a little bit.
That's a
but
good
I
point.
get it. Listen, it's Dancing with the Stars. It's about talking to the star.
And they're not judging us.
And they're not,
Yeah.
well,
yeah. Yeah. I also wrote down beautiful pivot section. Their pivots
See?
were phenomenal.
she was driving through that
Yeah.
center point. She was onto that heel lead.
Yeah.
She was really pushing through. Their pivots did a big curve, not a little curve, which
Yes.
is like
Easier
obviously
to do.
key sign that one person isn't really doing their job. And so
one person isn't pulling their
one
weight.
person not pulling their weight, one person pulling everybody's weight. But she be pulling her weight. I freaking loved it. I wrote spectacular.
Guys, you got spectacular from Sharna
Spectacular.
Burgess. That's fucking awesome. Next up, Daniela Dillon with a Foxtrot 788. They got. I love this partnership.
Love.
As a whole, obviously aesthetically, looking at them like that, they look so great together.
Beautiful.
Like beautiful couple to look at.
Abs for days.
Yeah, both of them.
Good Lord.
And I really think they are, I feel like one of the strongest friendships. And I think that that's Danny's, one of her strong suits, along with great technique and teaching. She is, it seems and looks like she's very good friends with all of her partners. And it shows, and I love that. And I think that creating that friendship very early on, and if you can really get to know one another, know how each person ticks, and really respect one another with great communication and stuff, I think that is the key to getting to the finals and winning the show. Do you see that in their partnership?
I 100% see that. I 100% see that in all of Danny's partnerships.
Yeah.
Like she just has a way of creating a real beautiful connection with them, and so you're also voting for that. It's palpable. You know
Totally.
what I mean? You're not just voting for the dancing that they're doing, but the fun
Right.
that they have, and the social media, and the camaraderie between them, and all of that.
And you can see when people aren't really getting along, you know.
For sure you can. It translates.
Yeah.
You know, but these guys are building a friendship at the same time as learning how to dance. And that's, I mean, I think that makes, it puts the magic into it.
Totally.
You know, because you're not just watching dance.
Yeah.
What did you think of the dance?
I have little things. I thought, yes, he was the leading man. I liked that comment. I think it was from Derek, that he wants him to be the leading man. And I did see that. I feel like the basics that Daniela taught him were phenomenal. The rise and fall, the gliding across the floor, the heel leads, all of that stuff I loved. I feel like because when you tell the guy head left, right? They're so far left.
Yeah.
I feel like he was so far left, and it's not actually left. It's usually where your hand is.
Yeah, look past your hand.
Look
through
past your
window.
hand. So when you say head left, which it is left, they really kind of overdo it,
Yeah.
which is normal.
Yeah.
I felt like that was overdone, and that to me like broke some of the quality of the
Agreed.
frame. That was my biggest note that I wrote down.
I just burped into your mic. I'm so sorry.
Was it? Did we hear that?
I don't know. Did we hear it?
I love a good. No one's ever burped into my mic.
Fantastic. It was
Fantastic.
just a tiny little one. What did you ask me? I was so insecure about my burp.
Don't be insecure about that. Hopefully, no one farts here.
Whoop.
I was talking about the head left.
Oh yeah, the head left.
Did you see that too?
I saw 100% the head left. I thought his frame was nice. I also felt his left arm was then sometimes like circling around just a little bit. Like it sort of both things happen as they're trying to push their head so far left. Sometimes their elbows pushing forward.
Yeah.
So yeah, thinking wide a little bit more with even the eye line going left on it.
Right.
But I also felt a lot of booty out. Like
Yep.
we had good drive, and there were beautiful technique, rise and fall, so many good things, but then booty out.
And it's so hard.
So hard. And
Booty is hard,
He's
guys.
long legs. You know what I mean? He's
Yep.
not Danny's dealt with taller, let's be real, but he's a tall man, long legs, and he's really got to work on being able to drive through his standing leg and keep his butt under so he can drive long instead of energy going backwards and forwards.
Yes.
You know? And that was also, I think, disrupting his frame. But I thought it was a great dance for him, not my favorite dance of his. But did I love the performance? Yeah, again.
What was your favorite dance of his?
I was wildly impressed with his samba.
Me too.
Wildly impressed.
Wildly impressed.
Like the fact that I know it got a little bit awkward in places, sure. Like Willow in the Wind's hands.
Can we be perfect though?
No.
But
he was doing real bounce, real bounce action.
Yep.
In real bounce action samba steps. We're not faking it. We're not pretending. It was from the ankles to the knees to the hips to the core. Like it was really well done. And I was super impressed with that.
All right, moving along to Alan and Elaine. They did a tango 777. Mm-hmm. I love this woman.
I love her too.
Love her performance.
Yeah.
Oh my God, she gives it everything.
Yeah.
Like they're a great partnership.
Yes.
I feel like they two are very good friends. She enjoys him. He really helps her out. Like I see them backstage and he really enjoys being with her. Do you know what I mean?
That.
And you know, I think she's 54, I think 54, she said.
Something like that.
My gosh, she can move. She has musicality and timing. And I really loved it. My main point was the tango legs, you know, the upside down V.
Yep.
Gaga, the knees kind of nearly together and, you know,
feet
have to be in very open. Very open in areas where, for me, that's the first thing that I fucking drill.
Yes.
I'm like, get your knees, squeeze the knees in together and we got to be tight and locked in. That was my main point. In saying that it wasn't my favorite dance of hers. Last week was my favorite.
Yeah, I felt the same. So I think, first of all, they had a really hard song. They did. As I was watching it, I was like, I hate this song for them, you know, and it was so aggressive. And I was like, okay. And so it took away from some of the just beautiful power that you can have in a tango and made it feel like it was really aggressive. That being said, my biggest thing for her is that she is, and even Bruno said it, which I was like, great critique. She sort of comes up in the shoulders and is holding on with the top of her. So it all circles back to what you're saying about the knees. She's not sitting into the legs with the hips going forward and connecting through that lower part of our body where everything is really connected and driving from. It felt like everything was up and towards him. And while she pushed out and had a good frame sometimes, it still all started to rise. We lost a little stamina in the last third of it and it got a little bit more wobbly and posture got a little bit off by the end of it. And so it all just lost a little bit of the strength that it had in the beginning. Right. I think if she can, and Carrie Ann even said, if I remember, you know, you're too independent. I think it comes from her, that vision of her holding on and trying to like help or do the move herself or whatever it is. If she locks in with that frame and, you know, hips together,
right,
vagina on leg, right?
Vagina on leg.
This is where we've got to connect.
Times.
Listen, at all times, this is where we connect.
Or dick on leg.
Or dick on leg, you know, DOL.
We've felt many of those. We've felt many a dick on the leg before.
Oh my God. The faces on the men when you tell them literally put it on my leg. They're like,
lay it on me.
Like, is she for real?
Yeah. No.
Anyway, we're missing the true connection in where it starts with ballroom, right?
Yes.
That in the hips and the rib cage. And so for her, when it comes too far upright, especially once we start rotating and she starts holding on, then it didn't go back down and get back into connection. So I think all the judges' notes, to be honest, lent themselves to exactly what you and I are both saying.
Right.
Squeeze the knees, get down, connect from the hips and the core, and let everything else go wide and open.
One more thing that I noticed that was really bothering me. In her underarm turns, because she is so tall, no, her legs are bent underneath. Like she can't straighten them because she's too tall, I think, and she doesn't want to go up so much. So I think Alan keeps her about here, and by doing that, her legs are bent every turn that she does.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah.
Good spot.
I was like, oh God, it just catches my eye. I'm like, oh, I wish we could just like rise up a little bit.
But
Not
Alan's
too
tall.
much rise.
How tall is she? Is she taller than Alan?
I don't know if she's tall, maybe same size with heels on.
Is her arm also straight?
No,
or are we giving
no,
it a good right angle?
I think we're giving it a right angle.
Really?
But in
I'm
terms
gonna
of
have to go back
that,
and watch that. Good, good note, because
Little
spinning on
things.
bent legs is like that is rough.
yeah, especially when the skirt goes out and you see
Mm.
everything.
Yeah.
Whitney and Mark, I could write just the word obsessed every time that they dance.
Every time? See me, no. This, deeply obsessed. Deeply obsessed.
Deeply.
The cha-cha, I was like, it's all right.
Yeah.
But then this week, nose over toes for days. She was like over on her center. She was powerful the way she moved. They had bounce action.
Yep.
They had a lot of samba content in
They
there.
also had fringe pants.
Yeah, we had fringe pants, which I saw a clip of you speaking on, which you think it hides things? Or no, you think it accentuates things?
I think it builds the celebrity up.
For sure.
As in, like,
Agreed.
you get fringe pants, you're going to fucking kill it. You're going to look like you're moving no matter what.
Yes,
because
agreed,
it is
100%.
moving for you.
Agreed. But I do think she was actually moving. Like
Yes.
even some of her
Yes.
bounce action was a smidge aggressive. Like there was 2 voltas where I was like, that's a straight up hit thrust. But like I appreciate
But that's how Max. That's how Mark choreographed it.
Yes,
the deep,
exactly.
The
They
deep
both
bounce.
did it. Yes.
Yeah.
And so I appreciated it. I loved this. I thought she had so much texture. I thought she was fierce. I really loved that they worked so hard on nose over toes
Mm-hmm.
because it took it from, it just made it a different performance for
Yeah.
me. That energy being connected forward towards him. It didn't feel
1000%.
awkward. It felt like she was being led by him.
Yep.
There was so much in this that I loved. If it was a later week in the season, I would have given it a way higher score. I gave them an 8, 100%.
I mean, babe, if that was in the finale, they would have 10s.
10s.
Do you know what I mean?
Across the board.
They have to start low. And I
Yep.
do like that I think they could have even started lower. We did speak about this in prior weeks. We could have started at 3s and 4s because these people are so good.
Should have.
To end up at a 10, like we need to go somewhere. 8s, yeah, deeply obsessed.
Her spot is still weird.
Spot when she's turning?
Her spot is still weird. Mark commented on it
need
on
to see
the ones that I did, the critiques that I put up on my TikTok. He was like, "Yes, we worked hardcore on the nose over toes this week.
Oh,
still
good.
working on the spot." But it's getting better. So obviously she has a thing with spotting. It gets a little wonky sometimes when she turns, like she doesn't really know where she's supposed to land, which is wild because she's so good at other things.
Right.
But they're working on it. So, and it definitely was better than it was last week.
Nice. Riley and Scott, they had Jazz 877.
Tell me your thoughts.
I thought that after the seasons that Riley has done on the show as like a newish pro, this is by far the best dance she's ever done on the show. Mm-hmm. For her to see her in her element out there doing jazz where there really are no rules in jazz. Like if you guys don't know at home, when you get jazz, you can kind of do whatever you want.
On Dancing with the Stars, it means anything goes.
Yes, like lifts, you can throw crumping in there, you can do whacking.
Whatever you want.
Anything you want, you can make it a jazz, which is great. If you especially don't have a celebrity that can't really do that much, you can create whatever you want to be a performance piece. In saying that, I think Scott freaking nailed this dance. I feel like the TikTok aspect of it too was so good for them as a couple because this is what they're going to be able to do best.
Right.
I feel like this is his strong point. This is what he does and this is what he's going to be good at. And I loved it.
I think it's his high point. I
Yes.
think it will be his best dance of the season.
Yes.
And I think it probably saved him.
I think so too.
I think if he had to do a ballroom or a Latin dance, we might have seen a very different result. But does that matter? No. You know,
No, I agree with you.
The way the cards fall.
They were becoming for me forgettable, as in like not in a mean bad way, but I was like, well, who am I missing? Who am I missing? When I was like, you know, writing notes and like thinking about the show back after I'd watched it, I was like, oh shit, yeah, Riley and Scott type of thing. Like this dance put them back on the map.
Yeah.
I feel.
I think it was impressive. I think it was clean. I think it was a subcategory of jazz, much more like jazz funk.
Yeah.
You know, like a Blake McGrath routine. But it was, and was it fun and impressive? Yes. Was he in his element? Absolutely. Every judge said it. You know, it was a really good dance for him. I personally would have loved to have seen a bit more like power in his legs when he was moving, a bit more of a plie in his second when he's going along the floor. It was 100% armography with a shift to a different position on the stage. and then armography. There was one pass where they did like a little bit more of movement. I would have loved to seen him more in his legs with that.
Because he is so big and so tall. And that's one thing that like I hate when tall celebrities don't dance to their height. Like I've had many a tall celebrity and
well, Niall, and look how you taught him to move across the floor
Yeah.
and move through his legs and go through second position into plie to like get to the next one. I love the way that you teach that.
I
Tall men
always
need to
tell
do those
them,
things.
don't come to me.
Yes.
I will make it up to you.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? I will stretch as high as I fucking possibly can so you don't have to come down. Sometimes I feel like he is down.
Yeah.
You know?
I get that.
And I want him to like rise up and just be confident in his height and dance that way.
I agree with that. I think it was a really great dance for them. I'd be interested to see what happens next week with whatever they have. Now that he's probably had a confidence boost.
Well, he got an 8.
He did get an 8.
That would have been a huge confident boost for him.
Totally. Yeah.
That's nice.
What did you score it?
I haven't been scoring it. I've just been writing my thoughts.
Yeah.
I love that you score it though. I'll go off. What did you give it?
Well, people are going to come for me, but I was a 6-7.
A 6.
Okay. Yeah. I don't think it was up there with one of the strongest of the night to have an 8. I think it should have been between 6s and 7s.
Okay.
But that's my personal opinion because I would have loved to have seen more movement and power in his legs.
Across the floor.
And getting down, not just standing upright and doing armography in different points of the floor. Now, did he execute that brilliantly? Absolutely. So I can see why people say that 6 is bullshit or a 7 is bullshit. I get it. Everyone has their own thing. But for me, Riley is an unbelievable trained jazz dancer as well as all the other styles. She's done it all.
Right.
And I think she could have taught him to move with a bit more power in his legs.
Love it. Love it.
People gonna hate me.
It's okay.
It's fine.
No, they're not.
It's fine.
Hilaria and Gleb with their samba of all sambas, 7-8-7. I don't think she deserves 7s. I think she should have been 8s for that samba.
Across the board. How did another samba that was also wonderful and a favourite of mine in performance factor get 2 points higher?
It doesn't make sense to me. Hilaria, I know she's been trained. I know that people hate that she's been trained in this genre.
Whitney competed against Whitney.
Everyone's got something.
Yeah.
Something.
And at the end of the day, it's also handicapping her. Because
right now
people
it's
don't want to vote for her.
Yeah.
And maybe there's such a high expectation on her that they're like, well, that bounce action wasn't quite great. But I think they asked for more bounce action. It's like, it's wild to me. She's really hard to judge because, yes, she's got ballroom training and you're putting into a ballroom competition and other people don't have that training. But her performance factor isn't great. There are things you can genuinely critique her on that could be better.
Performance factor, yes.
100%.
Yes.
You know, there are, and I also think that sometimes we're going a little too Blackpool on our content and we're filling it a little bit too much where it's not giving her a moment to breathe and settle into things and have a beat.
And have a moment for camera,
have
maybe.
Have a moment for camera to show people who she is, to give her a moment to be a woman and stand and be powerful and shine, whatever. Like,
what did you think of the beginning though? Because I loved that opening shot of her. It was like solo shot and she was, I think...
What was it? I don't even remember.
I loved it. She just, I think, walked forward and then did the pose and like Gleb came up beside her to start the routine.
I remember. I
loved that strong moment.
We need a bit more of that. You know, I needed some of that in the middle.
And she also tends to run the music. Do you see that at the beginning of her routines? Nerves, excitement, whatever. It's a hair in front and then she settles in for the 2/3 of the routine, the rest of it.
I didn't notice that.
You didn't notice that?
Normally I notice all the musicality things. So she's a little at the top end of the beat?
Yeah. Because, again, you're starting excitement like, let's get it done.
I get it.
That's what happens. Samba content was insane.
Insane and executed really, really well. I think she could have more, okay, if we're going to critique it for real. Performance factor, 100%, we need more. I think she somehow, I don't know if it's that she's insecure even though she's so good, or she's minimizing because she knows that people hate that she's got, I don't know what the psychology on that is.
But that must be fucking hard.
100% hard. But there is something that is missing. It's not coming outward. It is all just inward. And I also don't see necessarily a connection between the two of them. If we want to talk about chemistry and anything that's out there, it doesn't look like it's necessarily that fun for the two of them to be doing it with each other.
You're right.
More of that.
You're 100% right.
And it's just steps.
Now that I think about it, it is. It's like a Blackpool routine. Love it. Gleb's in his element. Yeah.
But it's missing. We need a little Dancing with the Stars magic in there, sprinkled.
Yeah, I agree. And when you said, like, I've been thinking about how she must feel with people being so overtly angry that she has experience in ballroom dancing. I think that would really weigh on you, babe. I think that would really make you go small, like, oh, I don't know that much. Like, don't think that I know everything, you know? And I think it does come out. I think you're absolutely right that she should be going balls to the walls.
Be unapologetic.
Yes.
Fuck it. I have dance experience.
Yes.
Whitney's not holding back.
Yeah. I agree.
No one else is holding back that's ever had dance experience. Charlie D'Amelio didn't hold back.
Charlie was a damn near winner, wasn't she? Competition winner.
Yeah.
Like as in like.
Yeah. Circuit. So, what do you call them? Conventions.
Convention. Yeah.
Like, babe, no one else holds back. So own it. You know what I mean? Walk out and be unapologetic of like, yes, I have done ballroom dancing before.
Fuck yeah. That's it.
And crush it.
We got to tell her.
Because the hard part is she's only going to get this experience one time. And it's probably the be-all and end-all experience for her of having done ballroom before.
Yeah,
she's in this weird place of she's, you know, too good to be a celebrity but not good enough to be a pro, right? Because she's done it before.
Yeah.
Who gives a shit? Go out and do it for yourself.
Yeah.
Do the best, the most, the everything. And if you get to do 3 dances or all the dances, who cares? Do it for you and give 0 fucks about what everyone else is saying. Because at the end of the day, you cannot control it. But she has this opportunity to be on the ultimate #1 show for ballroom dancing and to get to dance and have this experience, this emotional experience, this getting dance back after she broke her hip. There's so many levels to it. Don't throw it away because people are pissed that you got dance experience.
We have to tell her this.
We must tell her.
We must be there next week.
We simply must. We will be there to tell her.
We must call Gleb. We're calling Gleb.
Yeah, call Gleb right now.
Should we call Gleb right now?
We've just been warned by producers that we're dropping too many F-bombs. So it seems that you know, when Aussies get together, we get passionate about things.
That's what happens.
And listen, swear words in Australia are words of expression for passion.
Encouragement,
love. And so that's what we mean when we use them, but we understand we'll tone it down.
Okay. All right. I don't know about that.
I digress. Back in. We'll see.
I digress. Andy and Emma,
Yeah.
Foxtrot, 666. I literally didn't write anything. I was like, just love him.
Just love him. I wrote.
I'm not going to critique him.
These are my literal notes.
Okay.
No power, no glide. I love him. Big shout, big shouty capital letters. He's shaping with his arms, not his frame. His frame is floppy, flat-footed and no stretch in the body. I don't care. I love him.
I don't care.
I don't care. I love him.
I love him.
I don't care.
Literally, I don't
give
give a F
an
what
F.
he does.
Nope.
I just love his face. I love his body.
How does he look like a toddler and a grown man at the same time?
He really does. He has that toddler vibe.
Yeah. It's like I want to nurture him, but I also
I just want to burp him for a second. Look, I'm secretly obsessed with the fact that he hasn't been eliminated yet.
Same.
Like, I love it. I want him to stay. Other people can go.
Yeah.
I'm cool with it.
I'm good with it.
I want to see more Andy and Emma because I love their partnership. She's very good with this.
Very.
She is the nurturer. She is the one that will harness the good in people and bring it out every single time. And she will nurture her celebrities, make sure they have everything they need. They're super comfortable with her and they're like always friendly. Mm-hmm. I love it.
Emma has this magical ability to completely put ego aside. It is not about her. It's not about her choreography being spectacular. It's not about how well she dances. It's not about her at all.
Yep.
She literally does everything she possibly can to make sure they have the best experience ever. Experience, not even become the best dancer, the best experience of this once-in-a-lifetime moment. Do you know how many pros on the show could do that? I'm not going to name them, but very few.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree.
Very
I agree.
few, because we're all competitors, can step into the room and be completely selfless and have absolutely no ego and make it just about that person.
To your point, step into that room, see that you do not have a partner that's going to win the show or be anywhere near it. And it will be a challenge. This 3 months will be a
Challenge.
You know, going over left foot forward for like 10 hours a day.
5, 6.
But she loves it and she makes the most of it. And I will always give her props for that.
Always. She's amazing at it. And it's like, it's a gift and a curse. She's also incredibly talented. Look at her season with Rashad, right? But she is one of the very few that can do what she's doing this season. And so she always gets.
And be satisfied with it.
So Emma is the go-to because she is going to make them feel amazing. At the end of the day, that's what it's supposed to be about.
Agreed.
And I love him because he is also, by the way, what this show was built on. People that have absolutely no dance experience coming out and giving it an absolute crack. We have so many people with dance experience giving it a good old crack.
Give it a crack.
We have so many people with dance experience this season and a lot of seasons now that
it's refreshing to see somebody going out there and not doing well technique-wise.
Yeah. Be like, oh my God, his frame was better this week. Like, how nice is it to cheer for someone when, you know, they're just out there doing the absolute best they can.
Love him. Robert and Whitney, Salsa 877. I really agreed with what the judges said, especially Derek. This is my only note. He was stiff, but was that the choreography also lending to the way that his body was moving? Because the choreography was very staccato, very Whitney, which I love. Whitney's my girl. I do feel like he could have been more fluid with the upper body, getting into it with the shoulders, like rolling a little bit more with the body. But again, the choreography wasn't really for that.
I think that the song, like I played it back twice. I was like, I don't even know what I would do with salsa. Evident in the fact that she added in percussion for their side-by-side section to at least make it feel a little bit of salsa. There was zero salsa vibe in that song. And so it naturally came out a bit more. It should have been a paso or a tango. Like, it just did not lend itself to that. And choreographically, it did not serve them. Yeah, I love Whitney's choreography.
Right.
And I couldn't say that I would have done a better job. But what I'm saying is it wasn't really a salsa. And so he didn't even have the opportunity to, I think, get that vibe and flavor of salsa because the song literally didn't lend itself to it. Like, give me a Bad Bunny track. You know what I mean? Or something like that. So unfortunately, I think that handicapped them, but also super stiff. And we haven't seen a dance where that matters yet.
Yes.
Jive, his ballroom dances that he's done. And so that is something they're going to have to work on.
Right.
Because it was awkward and stiff.
You did think it was awkward though?
Yep. Yeah, I thought parts of it looked awkward because it was so stiff.
I was just looking at his body when he took that shirt off. I was like,
good Lord.
Jesus Christ. Can we talk about the abs and the...
I don't know. I feel uncomfortable. He's so young.
I know. What are we, like the praying old women? Just
cougars,
like...
love cougars. We're cougars now. That's where we're at. Bitch, I'm 40. Sorry, I swore again. My bad. And then she drops an F-bomb. Yeah. I can't be talking about the young boys like this anymore, Pete.
I know, my gosh. But I was like, I mean, I watched it with my husband and I was still like, damn, Jesus Christ. He's looking good these days. He's not that smiley little boy anymore. See his face?
I know.
His face was like,
yeah.
He fucking had it on from the beginning when Whitney was sitting on his shoulder in the very beginning shot. He's like smoldering.
Yeah, blue steel.
I was like,
give it a blue steel.
Go.
And then he's standing at the judges' table and he's a 5-year-old again with his massive smile. And I'm just like, I can't handle it. It's the cutest thing. So sweet.
So sweet. The execution, I feel like, is insanely good. He never misses a beat. I didn't see anything.
No.
Did he miss anything to you?
Mm-mm.
No.
Didn't miss a beat. Sharp. Think he was even leading her to a degree. Like, I think there was a lot in there that was fabulous. Just unfortunately, not a great salsa. They won't ever do salsa again. He's going to stick around for a long time. They'll have a lot of opportunities to redeem themselves, but it wasn't a great dance for them. I gave it a 6.
Sharna Burgess.
People gonna hate me.
Moving right along. Val and Alex, quick step 878. She is the queen of TikTok.
She is.
The queen of Get Ready With Me's. I really feel like she's come out of her shell. The first dance that she did, I wasn't loving all the facial expressions or the lack of. I think right now she has it going on. I loved her face. She is emoting. She's happy. She looks joyful. The quick step is a very joyful dance. When you're going around the room, you're having the time of your life.
Yeah.
And I really saw that in this. It was clean. I loved how in sync they were. My only thing was that I feel like she could have done more in terms of how hard the quick step choreography could have been. Mm-hmm. I feel like Val could have gone in more on how detailed he was with the quick step choreography. I felt it was very simple.
I've felt that about all of their routines.
Okay.
I've felt that about from week one, but I was like, okay, week
like
one.
It's safe.
It's very safe.
When she is so able.
See, Val's holding on to her with two hands at all times. He doesn't need to. Or I say he doesn't need to. Maybe he's covering it up very well. I think he needs to change it up.
Yeah.
It needs to be changed up a little and do a little something different. But yes, it was fun and she had a great frame and she handled it really well. And this was my favorite dance of hers.
Yes.
My first one that I've loved of hers, really. I wasn't really connecting to them before. This one, I freaking loved them and I loved them together.
I think it was a little bit of a breakthrough in those moments.
Yeah.
But I want to feel like she's extended more in terms of what she can do, because I think she can do a whole lot more than that.
I agree with you. I think it's there. She seems very solid on her feet, a great understanding of her body, understanding of details even, but just safe.
Yep.
And while there's a lot of people that aren't being safe, you know what I mean, and are taking risks and doing things and going big, if she wants to stick around, they're going to have to do that.
That's the thing, though. I was thinking about, I always put myself in the position, and, you know, when I've had moments of like, oh my God, I'm going to do this big thing here, like we can definitely nail this. And you're leading up to them not getting it, and you're going to push through and they want to keep trying the step. They don't want you to take it out, you know? When is the time to pull it out and say, no, it's too hard, we're reeling it back, you're doing this step instead? It's always the hard moment because you want to trust them that they're going to get it.
Yeah.
But in my case, they don't get it. And I have made that mistake before where I've kept something in that I'm like, they will get it like every third time.
What was it? Or can you remember who?
Can't remember specifics, but like moments where I'm like, no, you are doing this. Yeah. We're going to get it. I trust you. And they're like, yeah, I'm going to get it. And then I get nervous on a Saturday and I'm like, you haven't fucking got it yet.
Yeah.
I'm going to take it out. And then they get pissy with you for taking it out and making it more simple. And there's always, for me, I've learned that. I've learned that if it hasn't worked in 2 days, it's probably not going to work for me.
I get that. I've had instances like that, and I think that is like the general, but some of the exceptions to the rule had such big payoffs to it. Like one of them was Noah Galloway, the single arm, single leg press of me.
Amazing. Yes.
We like it sometimes worked. And I was like, I'm going to face plant. I'm going to like nosedive over you and we're going to call the ambulance. Like I genuinely was like, I felt like a gymnast before I was going into it because I didn't know if it was going to work, but it paid off and he would not let me take it out. He was like, absolutely not. We're going to do this. And so we did it and it was a huge payoff. And like, it's a massive moment. It's photographed. It was a whole big thing of the show. Then there was James Hinchcliffe, fantastic dancer. Mm-hmm. We had stuff in our cha-cha, not his vibe. No,
okay.
We were ballroom. We were let's stay in frame. That was his vibe. And so we had a cha-cha and I was literally changing things after dress rehearsal because I was like, I'm not fucking doing it. We're not. It's gone. It's gone. Sorry. When I'm not effing doing it. Like it's gone because we're going to go out there and this is going to look absolutely awkward and horrendous. I'd rather do something more simple and take that risk than do this and lose points for it or
1000%.
Have it be like people go, ew, that was weird.
Yeah.
You know, so I get it. I get the being safe thing.
Yeah.
But I do think in the case of Alex, I just need something else to connect to or something more from it.
I had moments now that I thought, Donald Driver, at the end of our freestyle, we had that.
Oh, the one where he held you around the back and you were spinning? Was that you? And you were
No,
holding
that was Tango.
That was Tango.
It was the moment where he was flipping me in the different directions, and then we landed in a plank across the arm, and he had to keep spinning. By that stage, week 10, you're so exhausted,
Oh my God,
and
the body is
we
wrecked.
couldn't get it together. We didn't do it. We did it twice right before we went out live, and there was no way I was taking it out. But I feel like he always came through. So that was my moment where I knew that he could do it, and he wasn't going to drop me if his life depended on it.
Yeah.
But there's moments like with Barry in my last season where I went so simple in the quick step, and when we were backstage practicing it, before we went out, he wasn't remembering it live, you know, and although I went as simple as I could,
you did everything. That's not a case of, there was no risk taking. There was just
but he was one that was like, no, we're keeping it. And I'm like, Baz, like,
I love you, but
it's hard, because you want to make them happy too.
Yeah, I get that. You don't want to destroy their ego.
Yeah.
That little confidence boost. I get that. Hey, Peter, I've got a word for you. Pissed. I mean, is that not a moment that will go down in Dancing with the Stars?
It was like the Anna moment with Ezra last season.
Oh my God. What? Yes.
Amazing.
What did she say? Nothing. I think this must go viral. It must. Surely it's viral currently on TikTok.
I hope it is, because Julianne's saying, how are you feeling?
She goes, pissed.
With the most effortlessness, again, about her.
And a
Not
smile.
like, I'm pissed because just pissed.
With a smile.
Yeah.
Pissed. I freaking love her for that.
I'm
her. Sorry. Listen, it was a shock for everybody. I gasped, the gasp I gusp. And so did Brian. I clutched my pearls. I was like, it cannot possibly be. And the fact that she was going home, I thought, oh, it's Alan and Elaine, because obviously everyone loves Andy, but maybe Elaine wasn't as memorable and things. So when they said Lauren and Brandon's name, I was like, I didn't see it coming.
She was my dark horse.
Yeah, but then at the same time, things happen. But for her to come down and have that, and Alfonso was like, we get it. Like no one knew what to do with themselves. It was just
looking at them trying to find a way to get back into the conversation as the hosts. I was dying laughing. Like, we love Alfonso and Julianne.
Oh no, they're amazing. They do a phenomenal job. What else do you say in the moment? I was just laughing because what else do you say?
Her face also when they announced them, when they were up on the stage.
Oh yeah, she
was like dead. Yeah. It was shocking.
You want to know something? It broke my heart though.
What?
As the credits were rolling, seeing Emma run out and go to Brandon and say, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. Like, baby girl, you didn't have a choice in that.
Yeah, you have no choice.
You're just doing your job. That's you're doing your job. You're obviously doing it well.
Yep.
You just roll with that. I felt bad for her. It reminded me of when I won with Bobby, and I just felt awful that. Yeah. Anyway, we don't need to go down that road. That's a whole rabbit hole.
Bones.
Let's not get into that bag. Too much to unpack. Bobby Bones.
I love you.
I love you.
Thank you for coming. Everyone is going to be, waiting with bated breath to hear what you have to say.
I love it, babe.
Sure.
I'll come hang out with you anytime.
Can you come more?
Of course I can.
Okay.
Come whenever you want me to.
Okay. Maybe every week.
Sure.
We can have you.
Well, I'll see you more often. Wouldn't that be nice?
That's true. Okay. I love you.
I love you too.
Alrighty, guys, if you have any questions about this cast or things you really want us to talk about, please add them in the comments below. I will be back next week with exciting new guests to break down the next episodes of Dancing with the Stars. And then every Friday, step into the Penthouse with me for amazing new interviews with reality royalty.